Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers, and today I have a very special person here. He is a well-known person in our office. He has contributed to a lot of the growth of Rogers in the industry. He is someone to look up to. We look up to him greatly. Over 50 years of experience in the trades. How amazing is that? Jim Hinshaw, Vice President of Service Nation.
That's true.
Yes.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that greatly. It's an honor to be here. This is exciting for me.
Yes, well, I'm excited to have you here. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, because,
No.
I have a legend sitting across the table from me.
Several ways to be called a legend. You realize that.
Yeah. Fun fact about this podcast, we started it, and we bring in community members, local community members, team members, and you are the first person to come on here outside of Halifax County and to join us, and I am just so excited for you to be the first.
I didn't know that when I booked the date to come here. This is exciting.
Yes, and then to have you here across from me, this is amazing.
In the global headquarters of Rogers. This is good.
Yes, so
good.
Thank you again for being here. I can't wait to get to know you better and hear your story and kind of what led you to where you are. So I'll let you, we had breakfast before we came here today, and you were telling me about a lot of stuff in your background and kind of what led you, but I want everyone else to know kind of your background and what led you to becoming Vice President of Service Nation.
Good. That's a tall order. We got 2 hours? Is that, No, I really appreciate the chance to be here, and we did have breakfast this morning, and I think I told you how I got started in the heating air conditioning industry. University of Missouri Rolla, I'm a graduate engineer. I'm going down to one of those speed dating things where they bring the different companies in, they interview you, and I'm down there way early, and I'm talking to a guy from Trane. Trane, the manufacturer, and there's nobody else at his table. I walked up to him, I noticed he had a ring on with the same fraternity that I was in. So we exchanged greetings, and I said, "Are you a brother?" And he goes, "Yeah, are you a brother?" And I said, "Yes, I am." So he said, "We should talk." And literally, that random occurrence, so that's my first message to you. Don't ignore the little random things in life that happen that can make a huge difference, because that's the offer that I ended up accepting in October. I didn't graduate till May. I had it way early. It gave you a great sense of confidence to already have a place to go when you graduate. So I did that, and I worked for Trane in probably 6 or 7 different locations. Started out down in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Was there for 6 months, moved and took 2 or 3 different. I ended up with Trane Company. I ran the Phoenix sales office. Did that for about a decade. American Standard bought Trane, just wasn't the same place anymore. I started working for a mechanical contractor, became president of the mechanical contractor. They were purchased by a utility out of New York, Jamaica Water and Power. I went ahead and left and bought a small company, kept it for a couple of years, sold it, joined a friend of mine, Jim Donnelly Service Center, and I stayed there for 9 years. I wanted to be a partner. I went to him and I said, "I want to be a partner," and he goes, "I got 3 sons. You're not one of them.
Oh, man.
No partners."
Yes.
So I started my own consulting business, Sales Improvement Professionals Incorporated. There's still ghosts of that out there in the marketplace. And I did that for 20 years. I can clearly remember in October of 2019, I'm on a trip to, and I won't tell you what, Fresno, California. Since you pushed me, Fresno, California, and a distributor is thumping me in the chest. "You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this." And I go, "I'm not your employee. I'm 2 words that are very important here, independent consultant." He goes, "You're mine. I bought you for the week." And I said, tear up that invoice. Forget that. I called my wife and I came home early. I retired. So Alyssa, you're married.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll appreciate this. I'm helping my wife, who has run the house by herself for 20 years. I'm helping her. And 2 months into it, she goes, "When are you going to go back to work?" I said, "You mean if?" "No." She goes, "I when."
I love it.
You drive me crazy.
I love it.
You're getting the wrong cheese. I don't drink that milk. Blah, 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 blah. So I called up Service Nation. I'd done a lot of consulting work for the Service Nation over the years. In fact, they were founded in 2002. I was one of the first consultants that worked with them. talked to David Heimer. He was one of the founding members, and I said, hey, I'm going to fire up my consulting business again. He goes, oh, your future's very bright. And it made me an offer to join. And I came in as vertical market manager, HVAC. They had a vertical market manager for connected home, one for HVAC, one for plumbing.
Yep.
So I was one of those three. So, and then after I accepted the position, he goes, oh, and by the way, we'd like you to move to Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
I was living in Phoenix at
Yes.
the time. And I'm going, I was born in Dallas, so I'm coming home.
Cool.
It was an upgrade for me.
Yes.
So we came in and we did that for about 2.5 years. And then 6 months ago, I'm in a meeting with, is it okay to say the name where I was?
Oh, for sure.
Quality Degree.
Yeah.
One of the members in Pennsylvania. 34 people in the room. Matt Michelle walked up behind me and said, hey, I need 30 minutes with you alone. And I'm going, oh, here it is. And so somebody's standing next to me and goes, oh, that's never a good conversation. Well, you know, so I'm taking him back to the airport. I said, is this it? Are we done? And he goes, we're done here. And I said, no, am I done?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I want you to be the new VP of the company.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Then I'm all right.
Yes.
Well, here's what pilots say. Pilots say, I got runway left. So I feel good. We're having fun. It's still a great place. And I get to have fun trips like this where I get to see you that I've talked with you before, but I've never seen the place. This is an excellent, excellent time of life for me. So we're having fun.
That is amazing.
That's where I got to where I am.
Yes, and just having good connections. And we talked a lot about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Exactly.
And you've done a lot of that.
Yeah. And then you take advantage of those little coincidences. You go, wow, maybe that could work out. I don't know. So life is full of these little bitty moments that you see and you go, wow, that could change the course of my life.
Yes.
And it did in many cases.
And going through all of these moments, you have held a lot of leadership titles, and you've had a lot of leadership opportunities.
I have.
So, you know, what does that mean to you to be in those leadership roles, and how do you view that? And did you always know you wanted to be in leadership?
Well, I didn't know, but I enjoy working with people. I'm a people person. Relationships are very important to me. And so when I was president of climate control, the concept I had in my mind, we were a mechanical contractor doing about $12 million a year.
Yep.
So I had a union shop, so we had 70 employees, something like that. And at one point, my wife said to me, I married up. Let me just be clear.
She's amazing. She's here with you.
She's the voice of reason. That's what we call her.
Yes, she's amazing.
She said, you know, you have 70 families you're responsible for. Wow. If you put it in that perspective, you go, okay, the decisions I make, they can't be self-serving.
Yeah.
They got to be good for the whole group, myself included, but they can't be just about me. So you end up with a leadership position. I think you need to accept the fact that there's some people depending on you to make good choices. Now, it's not always the choice they want, okay?
Yes.
So they're not taking a vote and you go, oh yeah, I think we ought to go ahead and start a Sunday afternoon bagel meeting.
Right.
No, and so you end up with the ability to say, here's the course. Here's the strategic, I can't even talk anymore, strategic methods that I want to accomplish, and here's what I want to do, and take this path and get input, but you have the final decision.
Yeah.
And so you better weigh that pretty carefully and go, yeah, you're at that position.
Yeah.
You've got, how many employees do you have?
30.
30, okay. So 30 families, roughly, that are dependent on you to make good decisions.
Right.
So leadership wasn't always in the back of my mind, but it showed up pretty fast when I got in this industry.
And, you know, you have to possess a lot of different characteristics like you're talking about. So what do you think those main characteristics are that you need to possess?
Number one, flexibility.
Oh, yes.
Because I know this is a shock to you, but things don't always turn out the way you thought, right?
Right.
You know that.
You got to pivot all the time.
You got to, every year. And if it's not the weather, and if it's not the economy, then it might be the federal government making some changes in our industry. And you're
Absolutely.
Wow, did not see that coming. Here's what I know. I posted on Facebook in 2020 when the pandemic first exploded.
Yes.
I posted on Facebook and I said, wouldn't it be ironic if we look back in 2 or 3 years and said, wow, 2020 was a great year. And I called that out.
Yeah.
And because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So flexibility, I think, is one of the key ingredients.
Love it.
Second one is perseverance. Man, you got to make things happen. And it's on you as the owner, the manager, the vice president, the president, whatever leadership title is, it's on you to make things happen. So you can't say, and we talk about this in our AB calls. You've been in our AB calls. And we say, yeah, what's your budget for last month? Well, it was $300,000. Did you do it? No, I did $285,000. And then the call stops and everybody sits back and says, why? And what our industry does, we say, well, it's the weather.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Right?
That's our go-to.
And so on the AB calls, we go, can't use the weather. You can't do that. You got to weatherproof your business.
Yes.
So you have to have perseverance and say, here's the number of leads I need. Here's the number of sales I need. Here's the number of technicians I need in the field. Here's how many homes I got to be in. And you got to figure out how to make it happen.
Amazing.
You got to make that happen. And I can guarantee you this. This is not Oldsmobile, which is a car manufacturer. It's no longer on the planet.
Right.
They had a great commercial years ago. It says, it's not your grandfather's Oldsmobile. This isn't your grandfather's industry. This isn't your grandfather's economy. The economy that I grew up in isn't around anymore. The economy you grew up in isn't around anymore. It's all changed. You got to pivot. You got to do some things different. You got to stay engaged in the whole system. So.
And you've done that your entire career. And, we talk about leadership and what is it like? You're on AB calls. You're now the VP. How would you describe your leadership style?
Well, number one, I am not combative.
Okay.
So I believe in a relationship above everything else.
Yes.
So if I'm on an AB call and somebody says, this just isn't working for me anymore, there are some that go, hey, fine, go ahead and leave. We don't really care. I care. And so I'm going to try to embrace that concept of, hey, I really want you to have a great, successful career, a great, successful life.
Yes.
So if it means that you go to another AB group, you go to another group completely. You stop buying whatever you've been buying, you buy something new. I'm okay with that. I'm not married to any one specific concept. So, yeah, flexibility, I think, is one of the key attributes you got to have as a leader. And the relationship, to me, it's all about the relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about that so much here at Rogers on, we want people to be happy in what they're doing. Because if they're not benefiting themselves, they're not benefiting the company. And
they're not productive in most cases.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so caring is what matters most, like you said. So I agree with you there.
Good.
So we have a shortage of people coming into the trades. We know this. And but luckily we're talking about it, so their interest is piqued. So what advice would you give anyone that's starting their career and they're coming into the trades?
So here's what I know, and this was proven during the pandemic. Okay, we are essential services. We get in homes, electrical, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. We get in homes when other people couldn't.
Yes.
Okay. So at one point, we bought a home in Flower Mound, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, and we're going to put some draperies and blinds in. And the guy, because of COVID, says, well, I can't come to the house. Can you videotape the house and give me an idea of what the rooms look like and measure the windows? I can do that. So we've got the ability to get into homes year-round.
Yes.
And here's the good news. The industry is changing enough that there's always something new you can bring to the table. A few years ago, nobody even considered a thermostat that can be controlled on your phone.
True.
Now everybody has them. And you can get diagnostics in the equipment put to your phone. So if you have a customer with the right system in there, it's got hardware in there that says, oh, we're having a hard time. The condenser fan motor's running longer than it should, pulling too many amps. You get that message on your phone or in here on a computer and you go, wow, I know what to take on the call. It makes you more efficient. And that's what we gotta do. We gotta be more efficient these days than we've ever been in the past. In the past time, the luxury was, well, if you don't get it done today, you can get it done tomorrow. Can't have that attitude today. Gotta make it happen now.
Or there's someone that is going to come in and do it now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in many cases, that someone that's going to come in and do it now isn't going to be as qualified as your team is.
Correct.
And they might not even fix the real problem.
It's so true.
And you end up with a bigger mess. So we got to be more efficient, but we got to use technology. It's our friend.
Yes.
So from a senior citizen point of view, I am one. That technology is tough.
Yeah.
Man.
But you're up on it. You
Well,
got it.
I
Look
tell
at
you.
talking about Facebook and you're very
Instagram.
active on social media.
I tweet.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
You
And I have
embrace
fun.
it.
Well, and again, it goes back to the relationship.
Yeah.
I want to have those relationships.
Yeah.
So I am not the guy. If somebody, this is amazing. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yes.
Somebody comes on Facebook and says, I had enchiladas for dinner.
Yes.
Well, there'll be a half a dozen posts. Oh, you idiot. Well, they're made in a non-vegan cafeteria. Oh, okay. It's just, no matter what you post,
Yes.
somebody's going to have trouble with it.
Yes.
I don't do those.
No.
I'm always of the kind of posts that say, hey, good job. Appreciate you.
I know that. And
Okay,
I
good.
see that.
Good.
And
Good.
you are a cheerleader for so many.
Well.
And, the hype man. I'm going to call you the hype man because
You
that
can.
is what you do. You
can.
share people's
You
posts and you just congratulate them. And,
Yep.
I do consider you a legend and I know you're humble. And,
Thank
I do consider that. And when I see you repost stuff that I post or other people's,
I post a lot of it.
you're just
Yeah.
a hype man out there. And that is so needed because running a business is hard.
Oh,
And,
there's no doubt.
to be able to see Jim Hinshaw shared your post is just, it's an honor. And I know so many others in the industry feel that way because you're doing it for so many.
So I've got a new title.
Yes.
I'm a CEO.
Yes.
Chief Encouragement Officer.
You are. That's perfect.
Hey, isn't that right?
That is perfect.
And I've got a second title, CA,
Yes.
Captain Appetizer.
Yes, I've
If we
heard
go down-
that.
Okay, so I enjoy those kind of things that happen when you have that relationship. It enables you to get involved with people at something other than criticism.
Yes.
I want to encourage. That's the job
Yes.
I think that I've picked that I love doing. Going back to your question of
Yes.
why should you go in the trades? There is an infinite amount of ladders moving up. You can start as a maintenance technician. Do you hire people that have no experience?
Yes.
Yeah. So you train them.
Yes.
And what you're training them, you're not training for a job, you're training them for a career.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. That's what we bring to the table. If you're down at Applebee's, and I'm nothing negative, I eat
Right.
at Applebee's a lot. There's not a very good chance that if you're a server at Applebee's that one day you'll own an Applebee's.
Right.
They're not owned. They're almost all company-owned
Right.
stores. So, but in our case, you could come in, you could start as maintenance, move to installation, move to service manager, installation manager, corporate officer in a company. You could be general manager. You could have your own place one day.
Yes.
Do you have aspirations of getting bigger?
Absolutely.
So you're going to need people to be bigger,
Yes.
right? And so you need more people. Well, that means you need more managers.
Yes.
So there's this is a great industry to be in, I believe. It's given me back. And here's what I know. You can sometimes make bail and get out, right?
Yes.
And so I've got friends that have done that. We suck them back in.
Yes.
They just don't stay out
You
very
can't.
long. Got a friend of mine who went off to banking, and then what he found out in the last 4 or 5 years, that wasn't exactly what he thought it was going to be. Our industry still stays the same. It's excellent.
Yes.
It's a good industry.
It is. So what advice would you give Rogers for our growth and, you've seen our facility so far. What advice would you give Rogers as we grow?
So as you grow, you're going to add more people.
Yes.
My advice was spend some time and some effort making sure you connect with each one of those members. Because I know at the company I had, Climate Control, I had 70 employees. Every now and then somebody would walk into the office in a uniform and I'd go, who are you? Well, I'm the new guy that's working filter changes on commercial projects. Oh, wow. Who hired you? Well, Joey did. Oh, okay. So it's pretty easy if you're not careful.
Yes.
When you get to that 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. We had this happen in our office just this last week. We had a guy walk past Tom Peregrino's office and I was sitting there and he goes, do you know who that is? I said, that's Jonathan Bond. and the way I knew that, James Bond, Jonathan Bond, and he's kind of a guy like that.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I talk to him and get involved with him every chance I get. And so I'm going to give you the same advice. Stay involved.
Oh, great.
Get connections where they know who you are, what you do. And not so much that they're afraid of you. She got the power to count my hours and send me home, and you do that. But On the other hand, you got the power to encourage them and give them some ideas and some training to allow them to move up.
Yes. Well, that is great advice, because we are going to
Stay
hit that
connected.
50 mark here pretty soon. And I will make sure
Good.
to
Good.
make those connections, because they mean everything to us. We
Yeah.
would not be able to do this without our team.
And I understand you're looking at having a great year this year.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Is it okay to say?
Oh, we are very open about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
We're
good.
very open.
You're gonna
hey,
double.
We're getting to 100 million here one day. So
I love it.
yes,
Good. Yeah,
that's
got a
our
big
vision.
target. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you, there's companies out there that have done that and done it amazingly
Yes.
well, and the employees go, "I'll take a bullet
Yeah.
for the owner
Yeah.
because they put me in a position to succeed."
Mm-hmm.
That's your job. Put them in a position to succeed, no matter
Yes.
if they're accounting, sales, installation service, whatever it is. You got to give them opportunities to succeed.
And how much of an opportunity is it to come in, when you're at 15, 20 team members, and then, to be part of that journey? And that's what we like to tell
yeah,
everyone here
yeah.
now. This is the time, because you have a chance to, be with us all the time and be with us along this journey. So
I'm going to call Kenny out. Kenny is the videographer,
yes, Kenny,
right?
our videographer.
Well, his son is working here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, that's excellent. When you get the multi-generations in here, wow.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's a really amazing to see. So we're really excited
Good job.
about it. And you're a role model to so many.
Well, I don't know
And
about that.
you are, and
Appreciate
you write
that.
a lot of amazing stories.
I do. And I have a book called
Yes,
Amazing Stories.
you do.
That's right. Yeah, good.
And
Good.
you have a lot of people reading your stories, and a lot of people looking up to you. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that I've had an impact in lives, okay? And as you go through life, I believe you're going to leave some vapor trails,
Yep.
some evidences of what you've done, and there could be evidences of situations that didn't go so well.
Yep.
Could be that there's evidences of people going, yeah, this was I'm glad I knew him. I'm
Yes.
glad I knew her.
Yes.
I'm glad I was involved with them back in the day. And that's the goal in my mind, to do the kind of things that have a lasting impact and a positive impact on people's lives.
Yes.
I don't want to go Oprah on you, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm involved in lives, and that's why I've written 3 books now, but the last one, Amazing Stories, tells stories that are just amazing, and you go, wow,
They are.
I didn't see that coming.
Yes.
But, yeah.
And what has been the biggest lesson you've learned along this journey that you take with you every day?
Ooh, boy, biggest lesson, man. Number 1, you can't go back in time. Okay. So you made a decision, and let's just say it was a decision 5 years ago. It could be 5 minutes ago, but let's say it's 5 years ago. Don't dwell on it. It does you no good to dwell on it.
Yep.
That's not going to help anybody.
You're
And don't
right.
keep bringing it back up. Oh man, if I'd only gone to college, got my master's. You've got a master's.
I do.
And I'm going, could have got a master's. I didn't get a master's. I can't. And at my age, I'm not going to go back. I'll be clear with you and tell you clearly.
You got a master's in business in a
Well,
different way.
okay. But you can't beat yourself up about something that happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Even if it was a horrible mistake.
Sure.
Maybe you did the wrong thing. We invested in a couple of things back in the day that were horrible. And I didn't see it coming, and I had counsel from guys that were involved in the same type of things. And they both said, that's not a good package. And I go, yeah, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And so I didn't listen to wise counsel. So there's the first lesson.
Yep.
Listen to wise counsel. Get some wise counsel if
Love
it's
it.
on a lawyer, or it might be a CPA, or it might be a pastor at a church. It might be anybody that's got some knowledge about how things work. Listen to what they say and then do what they say, because in most cases, they're going to be spot on. So, and the biggest lesson is don't beat yourself up on something
I
that
love
happened
it.
in the past. You can't go back.
No, you cannot.
So don't try.
So, speaking of not going back, let's talk about the future. What are your current goals? We are very goal-minded around here. We know everyone's goals and what they want to achieve. So, what are your current goals?
This is funny. I'm a believer in goals, and I'm a believer in writing them down
Yes.
and sharing them. On my phone, I have a post that I made it was in December of 2020.
Okay.
I was vertical market manager for Service Nation at the time. And I put a post on there, and I said, in 1 year, I'll be a VP.
I love it.
So it took me a little longer
Yes.
Took me a year and 4 months, but I still got it. And I posted it on there even with the salary and everything. I did it all.
You have to speak it into existence.
You have to. I believe you're right. Exactly
and share
right.
it. Because if you don't share it, no one else will know that's what you want.
Yep.
So I think that is so great, and I can't wait to talk to you more about that because I love talking about goals and writing them down too.
So my goals today are to increase. So, and I'll probably tell you too much now, but in 2017, David and Matt, who were the founders of Service Nation, sold it to EverCommerce. Okay? So EverCommerce is a big platform, about 700 million last year, traded on the NASDAQ. We're one of 45 companies they have. So one of my goals is to be more engaged with them.
Yes.
So they look at us as more of a partner than an acquisition.
Yes.
Okay? And I want to have a presence with them. So we're trying to get better connected in all ways. And my personal goals for this year is to grow the sales side. We've got 2 business advisors and a support team that helps support their activities. I want to be sure they're all operating with the very best efficiency they can, because today it's harder than ever to break through the clutter that's out there.
Yes.
I just read a study that said in 20 years ago, we were getting about 50 images a day on advertising and branding.
Wow.
Okay, we're now at 3,000
wow.
a day. So to cut through that clutter, it's tough.
Yes.
To talk to an owner or to get somebody to talk to us and say, oh yeah, that might be interesting. And then we all have these systems in place and everybody's afraid to get out of their system. Well, I've been buying this product for years. I've been doing sales this way. I've never had a comfort advisor or our technicians sell. Maybe there's a better way, a more efficient way to achieve this.
And there is. And Service Nation has been so instrumental in our growth. We joined Service Nation a week before the world shut down from COVID.
Oh, did you?
We were at the last Success Day.
In San Diego?
Well, we were at the one in Greenville.
Oh, okay.
One of the last.
Success Day, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
And Chris Hunter was there.
Yeah.
And we heard him talk, and we signed up for Service Nation Alliance that day.
Good.
And not knowing what was about to happen. And there's no way we could be, and I truly mean this, there's no way we could be where we are today without the help of Service Nation. And so I want you to take a moment and just tell all of our listeners what is offered through Service Nation.
Good.
What kind of programs, what is it?
So Service Nation has a multitude of programs that are available to our members, and literally, if you're a member doing a couple 100,000 a year, we've got a program for you. The roundtable level is a great way to get started with Service Nation. Is it okay to talk about numbers?
All you want.
It's and so it's going to be almost immediately $100 a month for unlimited access to our download center, to our forum. We've got an idea exchange. Yep. We've got 5,000 members in Idea Exchange.
I have learned so much from that.
You can.
Yes.
You can. And you can post on there what kind of GPS are you using.
Yep.
And literally in a few minutes, you're going to have people come back and say, oh, here's what we use. Here's how much it costs. Here's a guy to talk to. So it's a great way. You can move from that up to, we used to have a group called the RCC, Retail Contractor Coalition. We're rebranding that starting next month. Actually, yesterday possibly was the first day we talked about it, called the Coalition.
Okay.
And it's going to be more of a business building. And we're going to incorporate a coach with that.
Love that.
Because that's one missing ingredient we found in growth. You kind of need that coach. If you've ever gone to a gymnasium to work out, well, you can go there and you can lift some weights and stuff, but it's so much more effective when you have a plan and maybe somebody to encourage you on, and you're doing sit-ups and you do 20 and you go, oh, I'm tired. And the coach says, let's do it at 22, 23. And you go, it hurts. Yeah, pain is your friend. It's not my friend. But that's a great concept on having a coach that can help you, hold you accountable, and give you some new goals.
That's great.
So we've got that. Then we have the Alliance membership, which you're a part
of.
And the Alliance membership is really our business building concept. And we have what we call the AB calls, advisory board calls, once a week. What advisory board group are you in? Do you remember?
AB 11.
11. Okay, that's right.
Boyette.
That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sharp guy. I was on his call just the other day. He had his Harley Davidson hat on.
Yes.
That was good.
He's a cool guy.
He really is. He really is. So you're on there for an hour every week, and you talk about all kinds of things, but at least once a month you talk about the numbers. And you have a budget you fill out and a dashboard, and so it's a great way. And you're going to have 7 or 8 people on that call with you that are helping you achieve growth and
Yes.
things like that. Then you could layer on under any of those levels the Premier Group, which you're part of as
Yes.
well. And the Premier Group is our one-on-one coaching, and we're doing a tour here tomorrow. So anybody in listening distance, I don't know.
Yes,
Probably.
we're going to open our doors.
Oh yeah,
to
come on
Rogers
down. We're going to tent
tomorrow.
outside.
Yes. Come on.
We can do it. So the Premier Group is a separate group entirely from either the Roundtable, the Coalition, or the Alliance membership, where you can get one-on-one coaching. You can get workshops. We're doing a workshop next month. Is Renee and Travis Lucas doing a
Oh,
workshop.
nice.
Yeah, they're going to be excellent.
Yes.
And so then we do tours like this. We're doing a tour here at your place tomorrow. And we also have the on-site visit where a coach comes in and spends 2 days with you to go through everything, every piece of paper in the building, how you handle leads, how you handle installs, everything. That's a great...
So
great
valuable.
It is. We launched that January last year. Tom Peregrino started that. He had a business over in Granbury, Texas, right outside of Fort Worth. He ran that for years, sold it, cashed out, stayed at home. I don't know what he was doing at home, but I heard he was at level number 2700 on Candy Crush. I don't know that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that. Tom, please forgive me. So, but Matt Michelle went to him and said, hey, you want to help me start this new division, coaching division? He goes, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
So we launched that last January. So we're at 24 members right now, maybe 25. We looked at a couple more this week. But it's really satisfying because you get that one-on-one coaching.
Yes.
You get that person talking to you, and you can determine the effect, how often you want that done. In the package, you get 2 visits a month, Zoom visits, where they connect up with you, but you can take them and you can do 6 visits in a month if you want. And we've got one member, got 3 coaches working with him at the same time.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's excellent to fast track.
Yes.
You can work on sales, you can work on culture, anything you want.
Oh, so true. We, our coach is Dustin Miller.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
That's good.
and
Good.
he has helped us implement so much here. We did not have performance pay or anything like that here
Good.
prior to meeting him,
Yeah.
and he helped us implement that
Yeah.
seamlessly.
See?
And I mean, it really fast tracked us
That is
when
so
we get
good to
connected
hear.
with the right people.
We were going to go to his place in February to do he's in California.
Yes.
And literally he got rained out. And he said, I'm not sure. And they're still getting rained. They're having
Yes.
a hard time over there.
Yes.
So we will do him probably, I told him we would get through the summer and then maybe October, November. I'd still like to see his place, and he's got a great system for
He
doing
does.
things like performance pay.
He does. So, hey, I'll have to come to that for
Good.
sure.
That'd be good.
But one question
Sure.
that I ask at the end of every podcast is, and we ask this in every interview too.
Okay.
So every job interview, we ask this question.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with one living person
Yeah.
outside of your family,
Yep.
who would it be?
Yeah. Steve Martin.
Okay. And
Yeah.
why Steve Martin?
My wife and I, when we first got married, we enjoyed him in movies, okay?
Okay.
And that was 50
He's
years
so
ago.
good.
He is, and he still is.
Yes.
He's got a thing on Netflix right now. It's him and a couple of older guys that are in a building, and it's always a murder mystery of some kind. It's a series. He's still got it.
He does.
And so I'm so enthused about a guy who's, maybe he's older than me, and he's still got it. And he's still performing and still engaged. That's what I want. I want to do
So
that.
I think there needs to be a movie about you, and he
Okay.
plays you. I think that would be perfect.
Well done. Well
Let's make
done.
that
I
happen.
didn't see that happen. That's good.
Let's
I
make
like
that happen.
Okay, well, that's good.
Steve Martin, if you're listening to the Rogers Radio podcast,
Go ahead. Give us a call.
yes, give
Call
us
my
a-
agent.
Yes, and we have books that we can, write the script from.
We can go
and,
ahead. We've got stuff for you.
Yes, so I think
So
that would be perfect.
That's he's hilarious, number one, but he's also got a serious drama side
Yes.
to him he can play. So versatile.
I love it.
I've
Well-
learned some things.
Well, thank you for being here today
Yeah, I
and
really
spending
appreciate
time
this.
with me.
This is fun.
And I've enjoyed getting to know you better. I cannot wait for the rest of the week so
We're
we
gonna
can,
have fun.
Have lots of people in here and
We're gonna
show
have
them
fun.
what we do and learn from them too. So
Good.
I am
Super.
excited, thrilled to have you, and you are a legend in
It
my
was
book.
my pleasure.
So-
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Excellent.
And thank you, everyone, for listening to the Rogers Radio podcast. Please continue rating, reviewing, and subscribing every week. We really appreciate all the feedback that we receive, and I cannot wait to talk to you next week. Bye.